Hello and welcome. I'm Catherine Osborne, President and CEO of Corporate Harmony, and I'll be your host for today's webinar with the help of your certified subject matter experts.
I am the author of the book Corporate Harmony, the Performance Link for Today's Modern Organization, and of the upcoming book Healthcare Harmony, Thriving in the Line of Fire. I am also a licensed affiliate, certified coach, and the Canadian representative for the Centre for Influential Leadership, where we develop leaders for increased productivity, enhanced teamwork, greater initiative, and more agility with change. The center's founder, Dr. Michael Frisina, spent his career in healthcare administration and is now an internationally recognized leadership expert, speaker, and author, specializing in the creation of tactical capacity in leaders and organizational teams worldwide. Tactical capacity can be thought of as any behavior that is not a technically explicit behavior. In other words, tactical capacity is the behavior that enables you to be a role model for your direct reports. It's the behavior that guides operational improvements. It's the behavior that creates organizational culture. It's the behavior that guides others through change. And it's the behavior that allows you to sustain excellence on the job. But first, some housekeeping. I would ask everyone to pick up your smartphone or electrical device and turn it off. Then place it in the middle of the table, face down. Thank you. The time we spend together here today is your time and no one else's. And it's important that you enjoy this time without the pressures of the outside world. One of the things that we practice throughout these sessions is the art of being present in the moment with me. Today, we are continuing our discussion on the positive presence behavior competencies of influential leadership, and we are looking at the fourth and final principle of the self-awareness behavior domain, discover your primary behavior domain. And it is through this discovery that you are able to flex and adjust your behavior to create a positive and energized connection with others. As an influential leader, you resolve problems, create opportunities, and manage events with a positive response to create the most optimal outcome out of the most difficult challenges. Adversity is an inevitable part of life. No one wants it, but everyone experiences it. Worry is one of the self-limiting thought habits that arises during times of adversity. In fact, I'm sure that every single one of you have experienced thoughts of worry at some point in your life. Science has actually proven, however, that when thoughts of worry become habitual, for some people even chronic, it is likely to result in impaired mental, physical, and emotional health. So, remember the mantra, it is what it is. Now what? This mantra is one way of acknowledging your worry. Then set it aside until such time that you are ready to create a positive response to it for the most optimal outcome. When worry is removed, not only do you protect yourself from potential harm to your personal health, your higher level brain function can engage, and you will be amazed by how much you can retain and retrieve. The best way to combat habitual or chronic worry is to replace those thoughts with thoughts and feelings of gratefulness, because when your brain is activated for gratefulness, it uses its positive pathways and shuts down the negative pathways of worry. When you don't use them, you lose them, fits here because the less often the negative pathways are used, the weaker they become and they lose their habitual nature. When you activate your brain for gratefulness, it uses its positive pathways, the pathways that are feelings of love and peace, the feeling of being blessed that brings with it an understanding that you are good, you are great, you are enough, right here, right now. So for the next couple of minutes, I would invite you to practice your own personal exercise of gratefulness as we just listen. So please, close your eyes and take a deep, deep breath.
Welcome to the Mini-Med for Gratefulness. For the next couple of minutes, I invite you to sit comfortably, and for the next few minutes, just let your body, every muscle, completely relax any tension right now And as you feel your body relaxing every muscle, just releasing any tension, you may also notice that your mind is relaxing as well. Just settling in to a deep feeling of calm, warm peacefulness. As you settle into this wonderful, peaceful state, let your mind show you images of those things you most deeply appreciate in your life. There's no need to make it happen. Just in your relaxed state, invite your intuitive knowing to present images, memories, and thoughts of the events, circumstances, and people in your life for which you feel deep, deep gratitude and deep appreciation for. Just let these memories, these images, show themselves in the screen of your mind. Each one, let yourself feel the emotion of deep, deep gratitude and of profound appreciation for this person or this situation. When your body, mind, and soul unite as one in deep gratitude for these amazing, amazing people and things in your life, and as you let your body take one last deep, deep breath in, anchor in this emotion of gratitude physically and emotionally so that you can come back and reconnect to it whenever you feel drawn to it. Come back to awareness. Notice your surroundings. What do you see? Is there anyone beside you? Across from you? What sounds do you hear?
In last session, we looked at the third principle of self-awareness: accept responsibility and ownership of self. Today, we are looking at the fourth principle of the self-awareness behavior domain: discover your primary behavior domain. This final principle, like all the principles of self-awareness, is foundational in nature. The behavior domains of self-awareness, collaboration, and connection are organizational intangibles that are driven by your personal intangibles. It can't be said enough. An organization is only as good as the collective force of its people. In order for organizations to blossom and flourish in today's world, we need leaders who have an understanding of the fundamental principles of influential leadership and the discipline to intentionally and purposefully create the mindset and apply the behavior skills associated with these principles on a daily basis in every human relationship. Every one of these principles is interrelated. Not any single one is standalone or more important than the other. On the other hand, the behaviors associated with collaboration are very difficult, if not impossible, without the foundational principles of self-awareness. And the behaviors associated with connection are very difficult, if not impossible, without the foundational and relational principles of self-awareness and collaboration, respectively. Influential leaders demonstrate vital strengths that ensure their success. First, they possess the drive to achieve results. Then, they are able to take responsibility for those results And next, they are willing to take ownership of their thoughts, their beliefs, their emotions, and their actions. And finally, they have the awareness to create and sustain collaboration and connection. Continuously building your skill of positive presence and embracing the behavior skills of influential leadership is where real breakthroughs begin, as we first seek to become the change we desire in the world. So let's look at a couple of highlights from last month. Accept responsibility and ownership of self. Responsibility and ownership of self is a pivotal behavior principle because it triggers and activates all the other behavior principles. If you do not take responsibility and initiative to develop your behavior skills, then the optimum behavior will not be available to you when you need it the most. If you are not proactive about using behavior principles, then they will be of little use to you. Remember, exercising the behavior principles is most important when it is most difficult. You cannot quickly develop strong behavior skills at a moment of crisis or opportunity. They must be developed long before the moment of need arrives. Taking responsibility means being accountable for your choices and recognizing that your attitude and actions have an impact on you and the people around you. Taking ownership means that you understand that how you choose to see a problem actually is the real problem. Responsibility and ownership of self function as the lever that activates thoughtful, effective action. In a marriage, in an organization, or even in a community, only to the extent that people are willing to hold themselves accountable and act responsibly can we have relationships, enterprises, or even a world that works. When we deny responsibility, we do not carry our own weight, and we fail ourselves and we fail others. The truth is that any problem you are currently experiencing personally or professionally can be directly linked to some repetitive, unproductive, or self-defeating thought or behavior habit. As a human being, you have the capacity to be proactive. You can choose either to focus on the things that you can actually do something about, or you can focus on the things over which you have no control. Doing the latter will without a doubt add more stress and worry to your life. When you waste time and energy worrying about the things beyond your control, your sphere of influence shrinks. When you invest time and energy on things you can control, your sphere of influence expands. Think about it. What do you have the greatest amount of control over? Yourself. It's unfortunate, though, that most people tend to invest far too little time in self-management. Instead, they spend their time complaining about circumstances and other people, rather than managing themselves and developing their ability to respond more effectively to the events of life. It is important to note that as a human, your natural tendency is toward the circle of concern, the area over which we have no control. Because in the early days of human evolution, it was important to scan the area beyond ourselves for danger and threats. So developing the habit of looking within, developing the awareness for higher level thinking, is what this journey is really all about. How you view adversity and stress strongly affects your success. And this is one of the most important reasons that having a positive, energized, resilient, and solutions-focused mental model is so important. By choosing to focus on the positive aspects of change, even change that is extremely difficult, you purposefully create positive emotions that propel you and your followers to higher levels of performance excellence. When you act on your circle of influence, you are able to reduce stress levels and increase happiness because you can initiate and influence change within you and around you. When you do, you are creating positive energy in your life, at home and at work. Are you change capable? Do you remember the answer to this question? Are you change capable? The underlying question is, how are you responding to the change and chaos and the stress that accompanies both of them? Change is inevitable, and so too is your resistance to it. Developing the awareness and creating the necessary thought and behavior habits that can rise above the chaos is a must in order for you and your organization to thrive, to grow, and to sustain a high level of performance excellence. An understanding and awareness of your 20 square feet, that part of you that is energy rather than physical matter, is a critical piece. You can assess your personal energy flow through your feelings, and feelings such as happiness and optimism can be linked to a positive energy flow or coherence. And feelings such as anger and frustration can be linked to a negative energy flow. Your brain tends to match feelings to your pre-existing thought patterns. So realistically, you can create new thought patterns to match your feelings to, and in essence, control your feelings with these new thought patterns. It's the neuroplasticity of your brain that allows it to create and implant new thought processes that are healthy and productive for you. The healthy and productive thoughts are the positive and energizing ones. This ability lies within each and every one of you. And unlike most everything else as you age, this ability does not diminish with age. So, yes, you are change capable. You can be an influential leader. You don't need to have a formal role or title. All you need is an open mind and an open heart and a willingness to create within you the necessary mind and behavior habits that produce a coherent flow of positive energy within you and around you. Influential leaders recognize how their habits and patterns affect their performance and the people around them. It is remarkable how many smart, highly motivated, and apparently responsible people rarely pause to contemplate the effectiveness of their own behavior. We need to slow down, gain awareness, and see the effects of our words and actions. When you slow down and gain awareness, you can focus on factors that support your personal health and well-being. You have a unique set of strengths and abilities to rely on for responding to life events. In other words, your strengths and abilities are unique to you. And by the same token, someone else's strengths and abilities are unique to them. In the work environment, it has been proven that an employee's health and well-being, your health and well-being, is best supported by an environment that is positive, energized, and strength-based, which means that focus is placed on people's abilities and positive attributes, including assets, aspirations, hopes, and interests. This is often referred to as a strength-based approach, and it is the most effective method of creating the organizational synergy that is necessary for performance excellence. Science has proven that your positive energy field will connect and mesh with another's positive energy field to create a unique synergy. Organizational synergy, then, is the combination of each individual's unique positive energy field. As your field of positive energy, your 20 square feet, combines and meshes with others, it grows exponentially. But this is only true if it is positive energy. Science has proven that unlike positive energy, negative energy actually deflects the positive. The significance of these findings is that as an influential leader, it is your job to ensure that first and foremost, you yourself maintain a presence that is positive, energized, and strength-based. And also that you ensure the people who you lead and work with maintain a presence that is positive, energized, and strength-based too. These qualities are intangibles and very subjective, and so it is that you need to understand the strength-based individual behavior preferences of yourself and of others. Your individual behavior preference, although unique to you, will generally fall within one of the 4 distinct behavior dimensions or styles. As an influential leader, it is crucial for you to know the 4 distinct behavior dimensions, know your primary behavior dimension, understand how your behavior impacts others, and understand how you must change your behavior in order to lead, inspire, and motivate others to be the best they can be. Every company wants to see increased productivity, higher quality of work, more initiative taken, and improved teamwork. In order to become an influential leader, you must face the truth about your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Influential leaders recognize how their habits and patterns affect their performance and the people around them. In today's hurry-up, fast-paced world, we tend to live unexamined lives. As a result, we are unaware of our habits and patterns. We don't see the areas where we need to change and grow, and we often fail to take full advantage of our greatest strengths. The admonition of the ancient Greeks is still relevant. Know thyself. When you don't invest the time to stop and reflect, you are often controlled by your habits, and you react without thinking. Self-aware people know and are comfortable talking about their strengths and weaknesses, and they have a thirst for feedback. On the other hand, people with low self-awareness mistakenly interpret the message that they need to improve as a threat or a sign of weakness. Not so. Your behavior generally originates from your feelings and thoughts. And your feelings and thoughts are really nothing more than your life experiences to date from which you formulated your belief systems. They are not written into you in stone. They can change if you want them to. When you change what you think, you change what you believe. And when you change what you believe, you change your habits and behavior. Surprisingly, research has also shown the converse to be true. Given a significant challenge, severe problem, or crisis, sometimes you can simply choose to behave differently without changing any fundamental beliefs, because doing so is the only effective course of action available to you. You may not understand why a new behavior produces more effective results, but you know that if you do it, you get better outcomes. This process is now being called positive deviance. Positive deviance is the practicing of choosing to change behavior before you gain understanding as to why the change of behavior works in producing a higher level of performance and outcomes. Regardless of how you arrive at the outcome, when you effectively change how you behave, you transform yourself, your organization, and all the communities you serve as a leader. The main thing is to keep that light shining. Life is a journey, and we are all just a work in progress. No matter what the industry, coaches, leaders, and managers often spend more than half of their time fixing people problems. Why does this happen? Virtually every kind of performance problem links to a relationship dysfunction that stems from a lack of self-awareness. How our quirky traits and habits that we do not see in ourselves affect the most important people around us. So we need to discover the ability to look inside ourselves and become aware of our own thinking, our mental patterns, and the habits that are responsible for our performance. The key is finding your natural behavior strengths, aligning them to your principled center core values, and then using them to create a higher level of thinking that propels you to a higher level of performance. It is in the process of maintaining this alignment that you take responsibility and true ownership of yourself. It is in this process that you discover true joy and meaningful purpose in your life. Influential leaders know their behavior preferences, they know how to manage their own emotions, and they are keenly aware of the need to be highly skilled in social management, creating and sustaining highly effective interpersonal relationships. Influential leaders are empathetic in that they can sense the emotional states of other people, and they are also compassionate in their acknowledgement and response to the emotional message of others. Why do relationships and teams fail? Inappropriate leadership behavior. Inappropriate team members' behavior. Little or no understanding of how to deal with the dynamics of 4 differing behavior styles. Misconception about the soft side of business. No concrete data with supporting information. Don't stop to analyze and plan for better team interaction. These are some of the most important root causes of failure with relationships and teams that there are. Inappropriate leadership behavior and inappropriate team members' behavior. As you hone your skill of positive presence and practice the principle-centered behaviors of influential leadership, and as you share your learning with your team of peers, direct reports, and all those around you, appropriate behaviors will become evident, and holding yourself and others accountable for positive, productive, strength-building behaviors will come with ease. Little or no understanding of how to deal with the dynamics of 4 differing behavior styles. Today we are learning about the 4 differing behavior styles and their dynamics. Application of this training happens best when people come together with an honest, open, and caring mind. Habits are not born overnight, but you have the power to make a difference in yourself and all those around you. This program is set up to afford you the greatest amount of time for practicing new mindsets and techniques right on the job. Misconception about the soft side of business. In today's work world, it is virtually impossible for a workplace to be free from the potentiality for high stress, negative and incoherent energy, or unproductive or disruptive behavior. The tangible evidence of your ability and your co-workers' ability to cope with this chaotic type of work environment can be seen in individual behavior. And thus, behavior skill, which has always been the soft side of performance, now takes on a whole new importance. No concrete data with supporting information. One of your continuous exercises is to learn to ask yourself questions. These questions can be used to extract concrete data from those you lead and from those you lead with. And you will be able to use this concrete data to assess your impact and progress as a leader. Don't stop to analyze and plan for better team interaction. When behavior capacity becomes part of your organization's quality process with a strategic and systematic approach to achieving your organization's vision, mission, and goals, the importance of analyzing and planning for better team interaction comes to the forefront and becomes part of everyone's personal purpose and mission. In the last couple of decades, the field of neuroscience has mapped the mental zone that can literally change the brain to quiet an overly active stress response system and simultaneously pave the way for higher brain networks to perform at optimum. The more you function from this higher mental zone, the less you stress, and the more your brain lights up with the mix of intelligence that predicts a successful life. When these higher networks fire and wire together, humming away at the brain speed of 100 million computer instructions per second, you not only succeed, you excel at every level of life, from career to family, from physical and emotional well-being to fully actualizing your talent and ability. It's a brain generating the fluid and creative intelligence to achieve goals, along with the emotional and social intelligence to instill joy in your work, peace in your life, and harmony in your relationships. It's also a brain generating the homeostasis that promotes health and longevity. The key to all these positive outcomes is building the mindset that transcends stress. The good news is neuroscience has identified a solution to stress that goes far beyond conventional stress management. This approach not only repairs the damage caused by overproduction of the stress hormones, but also generates the neurological conditions that stimulate the growth of new connections within the higher brain that expand brain capacity, making people smarter, more innovative, and emotionally intelligent. The solution lies in the power of your mental state to rewire your brain. Change your mindset in specific ways, and you can literally change brain structure to extinguish stress reactions and amplify higher brain function. The technical term for this change is neuroplasticity. Here's a list of the positive change neuroplasticity can produce. First, the usual networks that generate the brain's executive functions grow larger and become more fully integrated with other neural networks. This means you increase your skillfulness at planning, decision-making, error correction, and troubleshooting. You build strong cognitive abilities and can think abstractly. Next, gamma wave activity is far better organized and coordinated, signaling the higher mental activity and heightened awareness found in peak performers. Next, the right brain and the prefrontal cortex work together to elevate intuition and creative insight into practical innovation. Next, activity in the left prefrontal cortex, the seat of positive emotion, swamps activity in the right prefrontal cortex, the seat of negative emotion. This condition enables you to achieve a high level of emotional intelligence. Next, there is greater activity in the center of the brain, especially the caudate and right insula, generating the social intelligence that sustains interpersonal resonance. And your physiology functions at optimum, securing a high level of health and energy. So who in their right mind wouldn't want a change like that? Who in corporate leadership wouldn't want a workforce operating at that level of brain function? The point is, if an individual or company is not actualizing the mindset that transcends stress to empower higher brain function, they are not maximizing their full extent of fluid, creative, emotional, and social intelligence. Bad stuff and failure happens all the time, but we cannot allow who we are to be defined by circumstances. Yes, it's emotional, but that is precisely why we must take responsibility and ownership of our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, attitudes, and our actions. We are not prisoners of, nor do we need to be controlled by, the events of our past. We are able to choose and we are able to change. So our future is decided by how we choose to think about these things rather than the impact of these things in and of themselves. These events are just that, events. We are the response. We get to choose how to think and behave in relation to the event, in relation to the challenge. Think about this. Thoughts of fear and doubt create circumstances of failure and blame shifting, whereas energizing thoughts create circumstances of hope and accomplishment. Hateful thoughts create circumstances of strife and conflict, whereas forgiving thoughts create circumstances of peace and reconciliation. The point is that actualizing the mindset that transcends stress to empower higher brain function is a learned skill that can lead to full maximization of fluid, creative, emotional, and social intelligence. The skill of positive presence is your ability to create and adjust a positive and energized mindset, higher brain function, through conscious thought processes that result in effective workplace behavior, the kind of behavior needed for sustainable engagement. Self-awareness is so very important. In fact, self-awareness is a continuous process of internal power that most people do not even attempt to tap into. Awareness is the first step to gaining mastery over any area of importance in your life. What matters most is not so much about how we see ourselves, but how other people experience us in our behavior. Awareness of your primary behavior domain is essential to recognizing the need to adapt your style to situations that require you to be flexible to maintain the most effective level of communication, cooperation, and teamwork. One style is not effective to every situation. While your style may be most effective 25% of the time, it will be inadequate in 75% of the situations that require a combination of behavior styles to optimize positive outcomes. This means that it is very important to apply self-awareness to all the behavior principles for influential leadership. Remember what we said in the introduction. Practicing the 10 behavior principles is most important when it is most difficult. You won't follow your core values if you aren't aware of them. You will be dominated by your assumptions and mental models if you aren't aware of them. You won't manage your emotions if you aren't aware of them. To achieve personal breakthroughs that lead to organizational breakthroughs, it is necessary for you to learn how to look within for the truth about your personal mental habits, and then to adjust and flex to the necessary behavior for the optimal outcome. Now, it is time for a personal check-in. This means that it's time to be mindful, a time to pause and ask yourself questions. So please close your eyes. The reason you must close your eyes when you do exercises like this is because your eyes bombard your brain with messages at the speed of light. So fast, in fact, that for the most part, it is completely unconscious to you. So now, take a deep, deep breath and repeat with me, either silently or aloud. What sort of feelings have I had since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What have my thought patterns been like since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What have my behavior patterns been like since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And open your eyes. You should be getting into the habit of doing this by now, and you may even have noticed and even been surprised by some of the answers that are coming to you. Regardless of what the answers are, there is no answer that is ever wrong or bad. The goal is for your feelings, your thoughts, and your behaviors to move you with peace and grace toward what you want, whatever that may be. A personal check-in is also a good opportunity for you to do a physical body scan. You've been sitting for a while now, and you will need to stretch your muscles. So, either sitting or you can stand and make a conscious effort to bring your body to a state of relaxed anticipation. Beginning at the top of your head, as you slowly breathe in and then out, I want you to first consciously acknowledge the top of your head, your scalp, and then focus on relaxing your scalp. Next, consciously acknowledge your face, and then focus on relaxing your face. Now, your arms and your hands. Gently shake them out. Now your chest, your abdomen, your hips, your legs, and your feet. Wiggle your toes and stretch it out and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you are standing, please take a seat. And again, please close your eyes. This time, I would ask you to repeat after me, either silently or aloud. Please allow my mind to be open and accepting of all information coming to me, that I may think upon it in the days to come. Now open your eyes. As you gradually become more self-aware, you will find yourself faced with thoughts and feelings that are perhaps not serving you well. Worry, frustration, anger, malice, jealousy. Any thoughts or feelings that are negative in nature do not serve to strengthen you, neither emotionally, mentally, or physically. It is important to understand that everyone has those kinds of thoughts and feelings, and they do not mean that you are bad or wrong. Many people, in fact, are pre-wired for the negative and are completely unaware of the self-harm that results. And that is why self-awareness and the skill of positive presence is so important. There is a power within you just waiting to be called upon. It is your inner strength, and it is living and it is powerful within you. You can be assured your inner strength is there. Expanding your inner strength takes you on a journey of the mind. It leads you to new ways of thinking, new perspectives, and a new vision of the world around you. And like any skill, it can be developed, but it does take constant practice. And just like exercising muscles at a gym, exercising your mind builds your inner strength, and so too your cognitive strength. Inner strength is needed for doing a good job, for success in business, for studying, losing weight, exercising, maintaining good relationships. It's needed to change habits, self-improvement, meditation, spiritual growth, keeping promises, and for almost everything else. As your inner strength expands, so too will your willpower, your self-discipline, persistence, focus, and perhaps most importantly, as your inner strength expands, so too will your peace of mind. To do this takes practice and quiet time. That being said, you have that time right here, right now, and I will guide you through a very simple and time-efficient mini-med, which I've adapted from my friend Dina Proctor's 3x3 at www.dinaproctor.com. So please, close your eyes and take a deep breath.
Welcome to the mini-med for expanding your inner strength. For these couple of minutes, I invite you to sit comfortably. And as you let your body settle in, let yourself feel your shoulders relaxing. Let yourself feel your thoughts releasing. And allow your body, your mind, and your entire being to find a place of complete stillness and relaxation. Feel any tension, any thoughts that no longer serve you, just melt right out of your body and your mind. As you settle into that place of calm stillness, I invite you to get in touch with what it feels like when you're inspired and you're feeling that place of inner guidance and inner strength guiding you. You are never alone. There is always that inner place of power, peace, and wisdom that you can tune into and be strengthened and nourished from. Allow yourself to settle into that space, to be held, to be nourished, to be inspired by the power within you that's greater than yourself and much greater than any circumstance or situation that's going on in your life. Getting in touch with that place of peace, power, wisdom, and inner strength helps any problem or situation pale in comparison. There is nothing that this place of highest wisdom can't handle. So let yourself feel that infinite wisdom, that peaceful strength grow and expand and saturate every level of your body and of your being right now. Feel it expand. Feel it nourish. Feel it bring gentle wisdom and peaceful strength to every level of your being. Now, let your body take one last breath in, right now, feeling that peaceful inner strength embodied and anchored in every level of your being going forward.
Come back to awareness. Notice your surroundings. What do you see? Is there anyone beside you? What sounds do you hear? We are now going to take time for reflection. This reflection time is referred to as table time because this exercise is created to be shared with a discussion group of your peers. Feel free to gather around a table with your colleagues or head over to Corporate Harmony's virtual discussion group. This is also a time to stay focused on task. Be present in the moment, right here. You will see notes pages at the end of the manual section for personal use in gathering insights and questions as you move through the material. So take time to put pen to paper. There are never any wrong or bad answers. Seeing your words on paper allows your brain to open up to even greater possibilities. Putting your thoughts and feelings to words on paper opens your mind to your inner wisdom and greatness. Enjoy this time and share your insights with the discussion group. You will find this slide on page 21 of Chapter 4 in your manual. Next session, we will go a bit deeper into discovering your primary style and how it relates to your mental model and your values. So, until then, live each moment of each day with harmony and purpose and allow your grandest dreams to come true.